The U.S. Supreme Court has raised sharp doubts over the legality of President Donald Trump's sweeping tariffs, a case that could redefine the limits of presidential power and have global economic consequences. In this video, we break down what happened inside the courtroom, why the justices are divided, and how this case could impact the future of U.S. trade and global markets. You're watching the Indian Express. Don't forget to subscribe for more global updates and in-depth analysis. U.S. Supreme Court justices on Wednesday questioned the legality of President Donald Trump's use of sweeping tariffs, taxes on imported goods that could add up to trillions of dollars for the United States over the next decade. Both conservative and liberal justices grilled U.S. Solicitor General D. John Sauer, who defended Trump's use of a 1977 law, the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, or IEPA, to impose tariffs of unlimited duration, arguing it was necessary to address national security and trade deficits. The justices pressed Sauer on whether Trump's actions violated the Supreme Court's major questions doctrine, which requires any executive action of vast economic or political significance to be clearly authorized by Congress. Trump's tariffs have been challenged by affected businesses and 12 U.S. states, most of them Democratic-led, who argue the president exceeded his authority. Lower courts have already ruled against the administration, prompting the appeal. Even some conservative justices appeared uneasy. Chief Justice John Roberts told Sauer that the power to impose taxes and tariffs has always been the core power of Congress. Justice Amy Coney Barrett questioned whether the phrase "regulate importation" in IEPA could truly be stretched to mean imposing tariffs. Trump's team argued that trade deficits have brought the U.S. to the brink of an economic and national security catastrophe, and that his tariffs have strengthened America's negotiating power. Sauer warned that reversing them would expose the U.S. to ruthless trade retaliation and ruinous economic consequences. Conservative Justice Brett Kavanaugh noted that former President Richard Nixon had imposed global tariffs under a similar statute in the 1970s, offering a historical precedent. But other justices, like Neil Gorsuch, warned that interpreting IEPA this broadly could erode the Constitution's separation of powers between Congress and the president. Since February, Trump's tariffs have generated nearly $89 billion in collections, according to U.S. Customs and Border Protection. But they've also triggered global trade tensions, rattled markets, and heightened economic uncertainty. This case isn't just about trade. It's about the power of the presidency itself. Liberal Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson noted that IEPA was actually intended to limit presidential authority, not expand it. Justice Elena Kagan echoed that imposing taxes and tariffs has always been Congress's job, not the president's. The Supreme Court is expected to deliver its ruling in the coming months. If the justices side against Trump, it could restrict future presidents from using emergency powers to impose tariffs. But if they rule in his favor, it could dramatically expand executive authority over the economy and foreign policy. The stakes are high, not just for Donald Trump's economic agenda, but for the balance of power in American democracy. For the latest on this developing story and more global updates, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Indian Express YouTube channel.